Okay, so today we're going to be determining the function rule. And we're going to do this from a function table. And our function table, to start off, we're going to use this one to start. Okay, you're all familiar with what a function table looks like at this point. So what we want to do is we want to determine what's happening in that magic box. You know, think back to when you were a little kid. You know, you had the magic box here. That was your input would go there, and your output would go here. Right? Input, output box, I think they called it in elementary school. And what you would do is, in this case, we would put 2 in here. We would get out negative 53. And what we want to do is we want to find out what is the magic that's happening inside here. What actually happens to that 2 so we get negative 53 out. Okay, so that's what we're going to work on. We're going to figure out how to do this. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see if we have a common difference. Okay, so going from here, from 2 to 1, that's going to be a subtracting 1. Here we're subtracting 1. We're subtracting 1. We're subtracting 1. Yeah, you probably remember this from doing linear functions, from proving if something's linear. So that side's looking pretty good. Now we want to do this side and see how this comes out. Now in this case, we are adding 49. And over here, we're adding 7. Then we're adding 7. And then we're adding 49. So you could see that although my X column did have the common difference, it was the same every time, the Y column doesn't have that. So that tells me that it's not linear. Like if it worked in this column, okay, that would mean we have a linear function. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing again. And we're going to see if it works in the next column. So here, what's happening is I am subtracting 42. Here I'm doing nothing. And then here I'm adding 42. Okay, so if we had something that worked in this column, we would have had something to the second power, right? We would have had something like that. This is a linear one. So we can see it didn't work there either. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a third column. We're going to try that. So in this case here, we went from here to here. We added 42. Here we added 42. So that one does work. So that tells us that we're going to have something to the third power. And we already know from looking at the original problem, okay, we have this, which means the tail of our function is going to be a plus 3. Now, again, we don't know exactly what it's going to be, but we know we're going to have something that looks like this. Y is equal to, and then we have the plus 3 at the end. We know that we're going to have something with our x to the third power. And then we also know that there could be something in front of it. We could have some multiplication happening there also. So let's take a look and we'll see how it comes out. We're going to pick a number and substitute it in. And when you pick a number, you want to try and pick one of these numbers. One of the ones that's furthest from 0. Just because it gives you a little bit more clarity. Okay? So we're going to do, we'll use x is 2 and y is negative 53. So we'll put in our negative 53 here for y. Again, we don't know what's going here, but we know that this is going to be a 2 to the third power plus 3. So let's see what we're doing. We have negative 53 here. We still have something here times 8 plus 3. So if we want to solve this, and again, we can put any letter in here we want. It doesn't really matter. We'll call this A. Okay. Let's subtract 3 from both sides of our equation. So we get negative 56 is equal to A times 8. And then we would divide by 8. So negative 7 is A. So what that means is our function rule would look like this. Y is equal to negative 7, x to the third, plus 3. And now you can see it'll work with any of the numbers that you put in. If we put in negative 1 and 10, let's just say just for kicks, we'll put this in, and we'll see what happens. If I put negative 1 in here for x, negative 1 to the third power is negative 1. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7. Positive 7 plus 3 is 10, and 10 is what I should get. So there you go. That's how you do it. We'll be back with another example. I try not to make these videos too long because I don't know how much time you have to watch these. So I will make a separate video for another example. Thanks for watching.